Roman from Garden City Community College again, here to give you a tour of my studio that I didn't get to give you during the webinar. As you can see, we're not in an optimal spot. Just outside the door here is a wood shop. It is operational, just right now, luckily they're in the classroom. So as we come in, this window was a challenge. I do have a cover for that. It does have a couple of sound absorbers to go in there as well. As we come inside, you see that it is covered and it does have sound absorbing material inside there as well. We have a large desk here that I use for doing overhead production type stuff. It has an Elmo, a new digital Elmo setup for overhead. As you can see, it's set up right now for doing a med calc. We can do that online in person, or I can record it and use it as a quiz. And I've got a handy little tripod for my phone there in case I want to do some recording with my phone. It is a very handy tool. Those of you that are using it already know. The rest of us are catching up, such as myself. As you can see, it's not a huge space. It's about a 10 by 20. That's my cover for my window outside. And we'll look behind here, and you see that other black thing there that is black landscaping fabric with sound absorbing insulation wrapped inside of it that goes between the window and the cover to help deaden the noise coming from the wood shop. You'll see those everywhere in here. This is a concrete room that we've turned into our studio, and it has pretty decent sound quality now, whereas before it was just echo after echo and just sounded like you were in a big tunnel. And that wasn't going to work for us. So we had to build these simple boxes with insulation that's readily available at Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards. Any of those have this insulation that we used, and it's relatively inexpensive for what you get. And we'll go into that after a bit. But here's my studio equipment. I have a dedicated desktop computer, and it's a standard computer, nothing special about it. My IT guys actually took it out of the scrap pile and refurbed it to make it work for me. Made sure it had sound and video and hard drive in it. Plugged into this camera. This is a Sony video camera. It has, sorry, keep kicking the stand here. It is an X-Cam. I believe, I don't recall what model number it is. It's really not that important. This camera was just one I was familiar with, and that's why we stuck with it. We also have a Canon that we use from time to time that's more portable. This one is set up to stay here. We do have an external microphone plugged into it, as you can see right here. We don't use that one as much, but in case our wireless goes down, batteries are dead, whatever, in the middle of recording, we can switch to wired. We use, I did make sure that I did not want videos stored on the hard drive, so the hard drive is not available for saving. We encourage everybody to use the memory cards or a USB flash drive. Right here, this is just the Bluetooth for my mouse and keyboard. And then, as you see here, my monitor that you can see me in as well, because I have it turned on for a little demonstration how this works. Then we come to the heart of the system, of my studio anyway. And that is the Lightboard. This is a 4-foot by 6-foot, 1/4-inch low iron Starfire glass. In case we built the frame for it here in our wood shop and mounted it on a Home Depot adjustable height workbench. We ordered lights off of Amazon, and those are them there. We got a 4 sets of lights. They are battery powered as well. However, we just use the adapter to plug them into the wall. And what you don't see is around the perimeter, down inside this groove, all the way around, there are LED lights. All controlled by that little control box right there for brightness. And then the whole board is controlled right here to turn on the power. It turns on the lights, the LEDs in the board, and also the talent lights, or the lights to shine on whomever is back making the video. In most cases, it's me. And then, of course, I've got a black backdrop that seems to work well. You can also use other colors. Black and or white seem to be the best. We had a brown background in the past that worked okay, but we do tend to like the black better. It works best to wear a contrasting color so you don't just turn into a floating head and arms. So the whole key to this is once we get started making the video, you're probably not going to be able to hear me quite as well back here, but as you'll notice, just straight video writing on the board makes everything backwards on your side where you're looking. That's where the computer comes in, and it will turn that around for us. So now I'm going to turn the camera to show the confidence monitor. And you'll notice it is the correct way. So now back here behind the glass again, you may not be able to hear me as well, but you can see that no matter what I write, it will come out correct on the computer screen. Now that's with the overhead lights on. Now this works best with those off. So we turn off and everything becomes much more visible. The markers we use are just simple dry erase and in fluorescent colors. And I can adjust the brightness. Right now it's cranked up all the way. I can turn this down to where the colors are just a little bit more distinguishable. Sometimes you can white yourself out and white out your letter or your writing to make it like it all blends together. So if you're using colors to differentiate, say red and or blue to differentiate oxygenated versus deoxygenated, you would want your lights a little bit less bright to bring out that color just a little bit more. Turn the lights back on again. One thing I did do was we have a wireless keyboard that you can see there and a wireless mouse that goes with it, so I can control the computer from behind the screen. There's hotkeys programmed, so R is for record, P is for pause, S is for stop, so that I can make on-the-fly adjustments to my videos from behind the screen without having to walk around every time. Coming back to the computer, my camera is HDMI out, or we can record straight onto SD cards here as well. We don't need that for the SD cards because, as you can see by the camera viewfinder, it is getting a much wider picture than what the computer is showing. So we just use the computers. But coming from HDMI out, we'll come around and you'll see here I have a video capture card. It is HDMI USB capture card by Magewell. You can order these off Amazon or wherever, and then it just plugs into a USB port on the back side of the computer. And then just a simple USB lavalier mic that you see right there. And then that other little one right there is the corded one, so that in case that mic fails, we have always got a backup. Video quality, as we've come to find out, is not that important. Of course, you always want decent video. You want to be able to see without too much digitization, the little squares. You want to look as real to life as possible and as clear as possible that the students can read, or your audience can read or see what you're trying to translate to them. However, audio quality is by far the most important, which is why we spent so much time and effort turning this room into more of a sound recording with video capabilities than it is a video recording with sound capabilities. The desk is also in that you want as much soft material, absorbent material in as possible that helps knock down a lot of that sound. Anybody that's interested, I'd be more than happy to put together a quick video on how I built the sound absorbers and go from there. I hope this helps you all, and I hope some of you find use in it.